Alright, so since my computer wants to not work, I'm just going to stream from the phone, and that'll be that. Since, for some reason, my laptop wants to keep dying on me. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it. Right now I'm streaming from my phone rather than the computer because it just isn't working. Oh, let's yeah. Once more with feeling. Yeah, right. Oh, I can't. I don't understand why it's not working here. Just my battery now. My battery says 0% on my laptop. I think it's too many peripherals, and the phone or the computer wasn't fully charged, so like it's having a hard time. Even though it shouldn't. I mean, it's plugged in. It's getting power. I don't know. This thing's annoying. Case we're here on the phone. Audio is slightly not as good, and the uh, thing is slightly. Time for a new laptop. It's actually you know what it is. I bought this used actually like last year because this is the last MacBook Pro that you can actually upgrade as far as RAM and hard drive and all that. So it's actually really good. Although my face is bright white right now. I'm trying to. Maybe that'll be better. Yeah. So so yeah, it's glowing. Why is my face glowing? Why? No, 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 no. Black and white. Dawn. Bubbles. Can anybody else see the bubbles? I'll do vintage. Normal. I don't know why it's so bright white. Okay. There we go. Maybe it's still like, because of your glowing personality. Yeah, right. But it's like so bright, it like makes it look fake. I don't understand that. Anyway, what's up, Secret Life? Can I? Yeah, there we go. Get rid of that. So yeah, so I don't know why this computer's doing what it's doing, but it normally, I mean, the battery isn't that great on it. I know that I have to constantly keep it plugged in when I'm doing video editing and all that. So it is what it is. But I don't want to upgrade because in order to get like an equally good laptop that's new, I'd have to um, I'd have to pay like 3 times as much as I paid for this used. So I don't plan on upgrading anytime soon. Let's see. Um, are we reconnected? I don't know what the hell's going on. We're having some technical difficulties here. Maybe it's working. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay. Let's see. My live streams on my channel have been crashing a lot too. Maybe YouTube. Maybe. Could be YouTube. I don't know. Love the string of pearls plant. Yeah, the string of pearls is really cool. I love this plant. How is the staghorn fern? It's doing okay. I don't know. I mean, it hasn't died. It did lose leaves. Well, one staghorn. But the rest are okay. It's hard and difficult to judge if it's rooting just yet, and I don't know if it's going to actually survive. It's not looking any different than it has. The leaves haven't perked up really, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll do an update on it though if in the near future. When are you going to get some more red roof floaters? Assuming for weeks. Probably the last like month and a half they haven't had them. So I just think that they're out of them. But as soon as we place our next order for the first week of January, I will definitely order some more if they have them. I thought modern technology was supposed to make life easier. Yeah, right? If it only worked the way it was intended. Yeah, or the secret life of or Secret History of Your Living Aquarium can sell you his red red floaters. I used to have them growing out in a tank, but it didn't work too well. Yeah, I might not have floaters for a couple weeks. I think they might just be out of season currently. Because we normally from our one of our suppliers, because we can't grow them fast enough, even though they grow really fast. It's different. Free gifts are out. Well, thank you for letting me know. I can definitely change that around. Actually, that's a good thing that you let me know, because that's not good. Let me see what plants we have in stock. I'm going to switch them around. I know we're very limited in what we have. Okay, I see a couple things here. Let's adjust this. You see, this is why I like to live stream, because you guys bring some stuff to my attention that I was not aware. So let's see. I'll make one dwarf sedge for you if we have any. Dwarf sedge. We'll do potted. Let me remove these. What else do we have? Oh, you know what? We'll do dwarf water lettuce, because I have a ton of that. The dwarf water lettuce is growing out of control. Let's see, what else do we have? No, let's not do that one. What else? Do we have any crypts? What do we have as far as crypts go? Oh, we got crypts. Let's do crypt one ditty. And we'll do one more. We'll do. You know what? Let's do some pearlweed, because I have a ton of that. Okay, boom. And the free gifts. Oops, hold on. Boop. Are updated. So check them out on the website. Boom. There you go. Let's see. Hopefully by March I could set up a 40 breeder heavily planted. I would like to purchase all my plants from you. Well, thank you, Christoph. Was you tempted to put a tank in this room? Well, there is actually aquariums in this room. They're just over there. So this is. It's just that this is to the. This is like the other side of the room, and Margaret decided to paint the wall black and make it look nice. So I decided I would use it for filming. I was curious if albino anubis, aka variegated anubis tissue cultures, have survived for you. None have worked for me. Out of 2 brands, I think being pure white kills their photosynthesis. If they're pure white, yes, it does kill photosynthesis in their leaves, essentially. So the pure white ones need a ton of light. So they're tricky. I'm wanting to buy some new plants. I want some stuff I do not already have. Well, what are you looking for, Angela? Or what do you already have that you may be looking for? What's the difference between Monte Carlo and HC Cuba besides leaf size? That's really it, and the fact that HC Cuba is a pain in the butt to grow. I've actually never grown it successfully long term, and so I don't recommend it. Bought a bunch of Ludwigia repens and planted it right next to Hygrophilo Blue. Nice. They look together. Oh, the Hygrophila didn't make it. What should I change? That's a bit strange. Did you leave space in between the plants? Because typically both of those plants are very easy to grow. They shouldn't really give too much of an issue unless shipping, if you ordered them, shipping could be the deciding factor. One might have gotten a little too cold. They are relatively easy to grow plants and very hardy for shipping, so it's a bit surprising. I'd have to know a little bit more about your tank. I just realized it's a little cold in this back room. Go figure. Now my laptop is working just fine and like hasn't died once. Go figure. Go figure. I bet it was shipping. It was really cold. It's very possible. And actually, I'm running out of ice packs. The person that I order ice packs for, or not ice packs, heat packs. The company that I order heat packs from are actually completely out of all the big like amounts, and I'm like, yeah, that's a problem because I'm almost out of heat packs for for what I have left. So there may be uh, there may be some delays in a week or two for shipping out plants if I don't have heat packs. So I emailed them. I'm like, hey, I don't see any heat packs on your website. Can you let me know when you have more in? Because I kind of need them. I'm running low. I don't have that many left. About all mine from you, I have Amazon Swords, Cryptwind Diddy, Anubias, and Java Fern. I want some more stem plants. Well, if you don't have Creeping Jenny, I really like that, especially the golden one. Looks really, really good. Ludwigia ovalis is a really, I haven't on that already. Rotalas, I have Rotala Colorado and Rotala Singapore. If you don't have those already, those are really good. I also have the Nephrotides Taiwan, which is a really cool plant that I got recently and have been growing a ton of it. Where did I put it is the question. Might be under stem plant. You guys are getting up close shots of my fingers because my damn computer don't want to work. Okay, here we go. This is a really cool plant. Relatively easy to grow, but it is tricky to ship. So just keep that in mind. The leaves may melt during shipping, but as long as the stems are good, it'll survive. Give this man more likes. Pound that like button. Thank you. Derp Gaming says, why are your Rotalas so expensive? I can find a stem bunch of Rotala for $4. Well, if you look, one, we cover all of our products. So even if you get them in the mail, especially during troublesome times of shipping, we completely reship. We don't just give you a refund. We reship the plant, assuming that we have it. Also, we recently lowered our free shipping from $80 to only $30, and I'm pretty sure if I look at that other company, they don't have free shipping at $30. No, they have free shipping on $50, so you have to spend more to get free shipping. So we provide shipping offers. And if you're getting a bunch is different from potted. We're only doing potted now, even though it says bunch. I just haven't switched it over yet because some plants still come as bunch, so we're trying to get our supplier to do them all potted. But for the most part, most of the plants we're shipping out are potted. And potted plants, from what I've come to experiment with, do way better than the trimmings from the immersed plants. So, because they're already rooted in that growing media, so essentially you could just throw that pot in your plant in your aquarium and just leave it be. It's already got good roots going on, so it grows much better. Whereas opposed to cutting the bunch, while they still will last, the bunch plants, I've seen that they do much better potted. So that's typically why. And on top of that, you get 10% back in our rewards program. You get a free plant over $50, and stems is potted. Yes, essentially. Let's double check here, because we've been changing a lot over, and it's just because I'm the only one that really works on the back end of stuff for the website. It hasn't switched over. Like, I haven't switched everything over yet. So yeah, the 3 stems is that's technically a pie. It's just not mentioned as pie because I haven't gone through and updated everything. Just because, like I said, we've been getting our suppliers to, we've been telling them pot everything. That's the only thing we want is potted. We don't want bunch. We don't want individual plants anymore. We want it all potted. It just makes it easier for us on our end to like handle the plants and then ship them out. They last better. When they get to you, they last better, and all that. So I just haven't had a chance to go update every item on the website to say potted. But yeah, the Rotala's, the Rotala indica is potted. Rotala colorata is grown in our tanks here, and that's a bit more red, and that is still bunched. So I just have to go through and update a couple of things, but just know the price reflects what you're getting as far as quality. So I've also been looking for some less common plants. Do you know any? Do you have any limno, Boleem, Nisei, Golden, or any albino bacopa, or swords, tricolor, mosaic, floating plants? I'm all out of. I won't have anything yet. In my ordering experience, potted does much better for me. Yeah, potted. I did a lot of experimentation with it, and I've also just looked at what happens when we get plants in. So when we used to get plants in that were bunched or individuals, we would lose a lot of them. I would say we probably lost like 20% of them just from trying to convert them to underwater growth to sell them, or allow them to partially convert. So already at like a much better health than trimming plants or individual plants that are ripped up out of the growing media, and then they get sent into shock. So just and putting it in the water, they convert much better and do a lot better. Now there is, of course, the transition. They do lose leaves, they do melt back, but I don't lose whole plants. Like very rarely are we losing whole just Anubis when it comes in and the rock wool is too high and it's kind of bearing the rhizome a little bit. So we've been trying to keep an eye on that, make sure it's pushed down so it's not melting the rhizome. But yeah, for the most part, everything's been doing really well potted, and unfortunately, potted costs more for us on our end, so we have to adjust our pricing accordingly. But also keep in mind, we're no longer requiring heat packs or cold packs. We're providing those at our cost and with no additional cost to the customer. We're also shipping out free shipping on orders of $30 and more. And our shipping price dropped from $9.50 to $5 as opposed to, being $4.50 more. So it's really cost effective. What's the difference between Rotala indica and bonsai? Well, that's a good question. Oftentimes they are confused, but in my opinion and everything that I've learned, Rotala indica is a very fast-growing stem plant, grows very long, has small, elongated type leaves, almost look like little pine needles. Not pine needles. They're a bit wider than pine needles. Rotala wallichii is more pine needle-esque. But think of like a sword, like the sword part of the actual sword. They almost look like that, just very small. And the indica is, or I'm sorry, the bonsai is a slower growing, much shorter stem plant that has oval leaves and doesn't tend to grow quickly at all. I've had it several times. It grows very, very slowly. But if I had it really depends on the aquarium. If you have a tank that you want slower growing plants, Rotala bonsai is really good. If you want a fast growing stem plant, Rotala indica all day. It grows super fast. You'll be trimming it and wanting to sell it to people because you'll have so much of it. I'll pay more for a potted plant because it arrives alive. Yeah. Well, they usually all arrive alive. I've just, it's like if you could get 15% better results out of the one thing that's slightly more costly, I'd much rather get that slightly more costly option because 15% of the time it's going to be better. So that's my logic behind it. It's better for the customer. It's easier on us, and overall, it's just a better product than the bunched and the individual plants. So, in the beginning, we were selling the individual plants because I was trying to be kind of the cheaper option out there. But then I realize that it kind of creates more problems than it solves because yeah, we're cheaper, but when people get the plants, you know, and it happened a very small amount of times, but even if it happens once, that's too many times for me. That you know the plants don't do well when they arrive during the shipping, or they don't transition well when they're in our tank. So for me, yeah, it costs us more. We have to charge a little more, but it's a better quality product, and there's less waste overall, which is a good thing. So. How deep a substrate is good for swords? At least 2 inches, but you could go probably up to 5 inches depending on like the setup and all that. So yeah. Also, I was curious if you could help me idea a crypt that has cream-colored stems and dark purple leaves that basically looks black. I have no idea what it is. You could shoot me a picture of it. I may not be able to identify it. Crypts are very difficult to identify, so. Derp Gaming says, well, I like dense oval leaf look, but of the bonsai, but I would like a fast-growing plant so I can have a more dense scape in less than a year, more like a month. Yeah, so rotalas grow tremendously fast. I'm trying to think. So you want like oval leaves. You could do Ludwigia ovalis. I don't know. That's a much bigger than a rotala bonsai. So rotala bonsai, the leaves are probably like, I mean, my hands are different from your hands, but I would say the bonsai leaves are about the size of my pinky nail, where the Ludwigia leaves are probably about the size of my thumbnail, so it's slightly bigger, and they grow much faster, and their stems are a bit more elongated sections of leaves, but you can counteract that if you trim often and just keep trimming it, and making it branch, you'll keep it shorter and shorter. You just have to stay on top of it. But if you're looking for a fast-growing plant with oval leaves, you could do ovalis. You could also do creeping jenny. That has oval leaves. They're a little bit bigger than bonsai, but they're a fast-growing plant as well. What else? Mint Charlie has ovalisk leaves, and trying to think. What else do I have? I think that might be it. Yeah. I have about 18 varieties of rotala, and honestly, without good substrate, CO2, and strung light, I can only tell about 5 strains apart in low tech. So if you're not aquascaping, I'd keep it simple. Yeah, yeah. Most of the rotalas all look similar, other than the bonsai. The bonsai looks completely different than the other rotalas. It's a 10-gallon tank, by the way, so maybe the slower growing plants would be okay because the tank is so small. It is, but like I said, they do grow very slowly, so keep that in mind. It like literally, I get this much in about a month of growth. So, and that's under good lighting and CO2. What plant would you buy for squeezing between rockscape, aka less than an inch of substrate? Anubias for sure. Anubias Nana Petite, can't go wrong with that. If you want something a bit more fancy, you could do Bucephalandrid, or Moss Balls is another good one. I'm not sure if you saw my previous message. My substrate will be Fluval Stratum and Secant Fluorite. Christopher, I might have missed your message. You had said that you're looking to set up a tank by March. That was the last one that I see here. Unless I go further back. Yeah, that's as far back as I could go. Fluval Stratum, I mean, I would really just go with one if you can. If you already bought it, then I wouldn't worry about it. But I would just primarily go with one substrate. Slightly better than Secant Fluorite, so you'd be better off just buying Stratum. It just doesn't make sense to mix the two. Ludwigi, and here's the thing, like when you mix substrates of different textures and sizes, it just looks weird, unless it's type of effect that you're going for, but I don't know. To me personally, I don't like mixing substrates if I can avoid it. Ludwigia glandusa is quick and nice leaves. Yeah, but that one gets really big leaf span. Like a leaf span of Ludwigia glandusa like goes from like probably like 4 inches across, so it's big, wide leaves. So it's not ideal for a small tank at all. Bigger tanks, yes, it looks beautiful in bigger tanks. But I've had problems with glandusa itself. It doesn't grow that well. Like it grows, and grows, and then all of a sudden it'll just die back out of nowhere. It's a very weird stem plant. All right, guys, I got about 5 minutes left. I just want to remind everybody that we are doing a 15% off sale on any order over $35. They will also be posted on um, uh, Instagram and Facebook and in our newsletter this week that's coming out probably later tonight if I remember to do it, if not tomorrow. The 15% off any order of $35 or more. Use New Year 19, and yeah, it's good until the end of the year. I'm getting pretty conflicting results on leaf shape of Rotella indica. Most places I can find have them with the same leaf shape as bonsai but less dense. No, they're completely different, and this is what like it is because I've have experience with both plants. I get Rotella indica in like crazy, and I've gotten Rotella bonsai in like crazy. The problem is the names were eventually mixed up, interchanged, and that created all the confusion. Rotella bonsai, it has rounder shaped leaves. And if you look at my site, the picture that's on for Rotella indica, that's what Rotella indica looks like. If you want to see what Rotella bonsai looks like, yeah, pretty much. If you just Google Rotella bonsai, the first image that comes up is from Tropica aquarium plants, and I think that should bring you right to the picture, or well, I guess the Google search. But the first picture there is the one that is in fact Rotella bonsai. So you can see that the leaves are much closer together and rounder than the indica. The indica that I have on the website, that's the exact indica. That's the species that it turns into and looks like. The problem is above the water, they look identical. If you were to just grow them immersed, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And that's really all Rotellas. Most Rotellas, you can't tell the difference until you submerge them in a high-tech environment and bring out the true colors and all that. Because, like, I have Colorado and Singapore in the same tank, and you could tell that it's Colorado because Colorado has a much larger leaf span and it's bright red, where Singapore is a much shorter leaf spread, and like the leaves are much shorter from end to end, and it's a tighter. Every segment of leaves is a lot closer together, so you can tell the difference. And one's more yellow than red. So Rotellas are just difficult to identify. Period. But I will tell you that a lot of people get mixed up with them. So I love that. The Homalel Sudoku South you sold me about a year ago. Are you getting any more epiphytes or rhizomes from Borneo, or just hard to find interesting locations? It depends on what the suppliers have. Usually they try and bring in new plants, and that works out, but sometimes it goes stale a little bit. You know, there's nothing really new coming in for quite some time, but we'll see. I mean, every year there's new plants that come up. Also, I have Jungle Val in the 10-gallon. I did it so it would fill out and provide cover for the top of the aquarium. Yeah, that works. As far as livestock, I will have 12 dwarf neon rainbows, 15 rummy nose tetras, 15 neon tetras, and 1 Bristol nose pleco, 6 Cory cats, and several monoships. Would you consider that overstocked? It may be overstocked. I personally, if it was me, Chris, and it's just me, you can do whatever you want. It's your tank. I'm not telling you what to do. But in my experience, I would not mix that many different schooling fish. I would do one of those schooling fish. So I would either do the dwarf rainbows, the rummy nose, or the neon tetras, and do a larger school of them because they're going to look a lot better. You can do the bristle nose, that's fine. You could do the Cory cats because they stay down low, and you could do the mono shrimp, that's fine. But I would choose one of those, either the dwarf rainbows, the rummy nose, or the other one, and I would do just those specifically.
Are you done? Because she's a freaking handful.
Yeah, I'm about to finish it up. Let's see, what type of filter do you have? Okay, that's for Kristoff. Derp Gaming, it would be for you. Okay. Alright guys, I gotta head out. The baby's being a handful. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Like I said, use the code NEWYEAR19, save 15% off any order of $35 or more till the end of the year. It'll be out on our newsletter and all the social medias. And the baby has no pants on, so you can't go put pants on the baby. Alright guys, I hope you all have a wonderful new year. I'll see you in the new year on the next live stream. And yeah, so have a good one, guys. I'll see you. How do I?